Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to a quick video we're going to make here on setting up Mob of the Dead for Black Ops 2 Zombies. Let's get right to it. Basically, a lot of people on Twitch have asked me, Dahniska, how do you set up Mob of the Dead? And this is really important to know what you're doing when you're starting up this map. I've spent a lot of time on this map. Right now, at the time this video is making, I have the best round on it. And so I like to think that I know quite a bit about this map and how it works. The video we're making here is made to show you guys a relatively easy way to get started while getting everything you need for the high round setup. Now, it doesn't matter what path you take in the low rounds as much, because at the end of the day you're going to be having the same end result with the same stuff in your inventory, the same equipment, the same weaponry. Everything is going to be pretty much the same for high round strategies. So I'll show you a relatively fast and effective way to get through everything you need in the low rounds with a relatively decent time frame. There's bound to be faster ways than this, yes, but this is made to get people started who don't already have a really good idea of what they're doing. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you like it, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Alright guys, let's get started. Right off the bat, you're going to want to go ahead and power the switch here to give you access to double points. Then revive your character. One of the first things you should do in Mob of the Dead is look up at the sky and tell where the box is. You can tell by the red light, which in this case is at the warden's office. If it's in that direction, it's the warden's office. And if it's over here, it'll be in the cafeteria. The box location is important to know because if you choose to use the box, where it is important to know. There's not many reasons to use the box in this map on solo. The main thing would be to try and get a Blundergat from there instead of using the free Blundergat from the skulls. You should never need more than one Blundergat in a solo game. If you do, you've done something wrong. But yeah, basically, you want to know which direction the box is, just to know. Let's go ahead and get some kills. Recommend using the pistol to get collateral damage. Try and get a little bit more points that way. And if you want some extra ones, go ahead and rebuild the window. Recommend buying the M14 as well to get you started. And by looking through this door, you can see the warden's key if you look carefully. So that'll tell you if the key is there. If it's not, it's going to be on the other side of the prison. I should say, over there it's the cafeteria. Otherwise, it's going to be at the warden's office, just like the box. Let's go ahead and check here for a piece of the acid gat kit. There's nothing there, so we're going to move on to the dog. Is to open up the door in the underground area, which will give you access to the Hell's Retriever, which is the tomahawk. Anybody can get it in the game, but there's only one person solo, so you're the only one who's going to be getting it. Why you need the tomahawk? Well, the tomahawk is the only way to get drops on high rounds, and it is the only thing that will kill zombies, that will actually give you critted kills. The Asagat can do it as well, but you're not going to have much ammo there, and you can as much as you want, so you're definitely going to want that tomahawk. The tomahawk can also pull in drops to you from a distance, so it is extremely useful. And yes, as you saw, you can throw grenades into the pit here to give you 20 points each, so why not? For this round, you're going to be wanting to slowly feed the dog one zombie at a time. You can see I'm using the M14 to damage them, so then they're in one knife. You can use two knives if you want. You can also shoot them with the M1911 like I was doing earlier. So, there's all those zombies dead. The round is done, and we're going to move on to the next thing. Next thing I recommend you do is go ahead and get into Afterlife up by the gondola. You're going to want to power on Electric Cherry, and then rush over to the gondola. You could drop down and power on this double points. And then you could go ahead and rush over here to the warden's office. You're going to want to do this all in one afterlife because it saves time and afterlives. If you do mess up, you can always go back, get yourself up, and do it again with another afterlife. But you only get 3, and you get 1 back every round, so using them smartly is important. Once you're done with this, move quickly and get back to your body and get yourself up, because if you go down in Afterlife, it is game over. Alright, now that we're done here, we're going to get a little bit more points. We're aiming to have 1,000 points for the next step here. And we're going to go on over to the next dog in the prison, which is above the infirmary. I'm sorry, in the infirmary, which is above the cafeteria. I'm tripping over my words here. It's important to look around here to check for the acid gat piece. There's an acid gat piece in here. Sometimes it spawns over here on the table. Find that acid gat piece. And then move on over. You can start feeding the dog. I recommend at this point that you don't use knives, but you go for headshots. The zombies start coming a little bit more quickly. And if they start overrunning you, don't be afraid to just kill them. It's better just to kill them. There's going to be more zombies than you need. So just kill them. Feed the dog, but don't go down. There's no reason to go down at this point. If you're not comfortable using an M14, you could go ahead and buy the Uzi off the wall right here. But I'm using an M14 because it costs less. Since the round has just ended, we're going to go into Afterlife and open the roof area up for later use. Ideally, you won't get a nuke there, which is why it was part of the reason why you also might want to consider using headshots instead of knifing. I was knifing anyway, but this doesn't really make a big difference in the end at this point. We're probably going to need another 2 to 3 kills to finish feeding the dogs, so like I said, at this point, don't be afraid to just shoot the zombies, get headshots if possible, don't be overrun, don't let them down you because they will come from both directions. The dog is done, so we're going to move on out of this area. The next goal is to get over to the docks. That is where the final dog is, and at the docks is also the location for Juggernog. Juggernog is obviously the most important perk because it increases your health by over twice as much. It takes 750 points to use the gondola, so make sure you have enough for that. Once we get down to the docks, we're going to go ahead and power on the stuff in the area to buy Jug as soon as possible. And we're also going to start feeding the dog next, the final dog to get the tomahawk. Let's go ahead and power stuff on first. The first thing is the Juggernog machine. Make sure you realize that there's only one blast or one zap needed to power anything on. You don't have to shoot a lot of them, and the more you shoot, the sooner your afterlife runs out. You can jump right here to hit that switch, so you don't even have to open it with the key first. Could save you a little bit of time if you haven't picked up the key yet. Alright, so right here is where the first, or I should say the final dog is. And just like the other one, I still hold a piece of advice, which is you don't want to get smacked up, so shoot the zombies if you feel uncomfortable. Now, I made a mistake earlier, guys. A small one, which is easy to work around. But it's good to point this out because you guys might do the same thing when you're still starting up the map. So, I did not get the warden's key before I came down here. Which means that I'm going to have to go back up. And I'm going to have to get it before I can actually go ahead and unlock stuff in this area. With the strategy I'm using, you don't actually need the warden's key down here anytime soon. And I still don't have enough to buy Jug, so I'm just going to stay here a little bit longer, board up the window. That should give me enough for it. Since we're down here, I'm also going to hang out a little bit longer and get some more points to open the door so I can get in and power up the little area inside of there to open up access to another one of the pieces for the plane. Building the plane is really crucial as well, which is one of your objectives in this map, to get to the bridge where Pack-a-Punch is. It's also a part of the story, but that isn't really important to gameplay on this map. Something you can also consider doing, if you did not buy the Uzi earlier on, is buying the Tommy gun, which is available in this corner right here. Oh, I just got triple slapped. You want to make sure that you don't get backed into a corner here. And while I'm over here, I'm also looking at places where you can get the zombie. Right here would be one of them. The little corner up ahead would be another one. It's going to be on my right. Alright, there's the last zombie. So right here would be another place where the zombie shield can spawn. And the last one is going to be over here. So there's that done. We still can't get that piece because the warden's key is not in our possession yet. But we're going to go ahead and buy the M1927. To replace the M14. And we're going to open this door. One thing to do inside of this room before you go ahead and do the power switches deal is look around. On the shelf here, beside the generator, and finally on these shelves are places where the piece for the zombie shield could spawn. So we did find it. We're good to go there. Let's hop into Afterlife and power up the switches here. Powering these 3 switches doesn't have any obvious results in the immediate moment when you do it, but it does do something, and that is it reduces or pretty much removes the little barrier that's inside of the warden's office, keeping you from getting access to the engine for the plane. It's going to cost 750 points to get back up, so we're going to kill that zombie and move on over to the gondolas. Once we have enough points, we can get out of here and start working on the next part of our setup. Right now we're going to go ahead and look and see what pieces we don't have. We just don't have any of the plane pieces because you need the warden's key to get all of them. We don't have the key. And we're missing 1 piece from the shield and 2 from the acid gat kit. So the next thing we're going to need to do is go and get the warden's key so we can actually start getting more pieces for the plane and get that done with. So now, if you remember at the start of the game, we went and looked at the cafeteria through the little door in the spawn room. We were able to see through the window, and we know already that the warden's key is over here at the cafeteria. So we're going to go ahead, see, there it is. We're going to go ahead and pop into Afterlife. I should also mention that in this corner can be a piece of the acid gat kit, but it's not there, so don't have to worry about that right now. This jump is kind of tricky. You ought to want to hold down the jump button, and you'll be able to make it. It might take a couple tries. You can see another Afterlife door right here, which will allow you to open the door to the showers. I don't recommend you ever do that in solo on this map. It reduces the speed of the spawns in this area, which is part of the high round strategy, and it makes it harder to train here. And I just opened up the double points so we can get some more points. I also recommend that you do not open up the doorway that's right above here, because it also makes this area a bit more tricky to use in solo to train. So since there's zombies everywhere, we're going to go ahead and grab this and start getting some points in. We're going to need some points to do a couple things along the way, so let's go ahead and kill some zombies. At this point, I don't recommend that you get the nuke if you get one in a situation like this, because you're going to want to hold a zombie. So we're going to kill as many zombies as possible. Alright, there's the last zombie. We're going to leave him alone. Since we don't have the pieces for the shield yet, we can't build the shield, but we're going to go ahead and open the cafeteria so we won't have to come back here for now. Go ahead and buy claymores because we're going to need them. I should mention right here is the best place to build this shield, and I always recommend you do it, but since we don't have the pieces right now, we're just going to do that later when we get to the high rounds. So let's get on out of here. With this area, the only way to get out of it is going to be not through this door, because we're going to leave that closed. Not through the shower door, because we're leaving that closed. Not through the door to the infirmary, because we're also leaving that closed. So the only way out is through spawn. Basically the way that you're seeing me run right now. I should mention that it's popular for many people to open the door to the infirmary as part of the high round strategy training at the cafeteria. I don't think it's necessarily better one way or another with the door open or closed, but for this strategy, we're just going to go ahead and without it. So, at this point, I think we have almost enough points to do what we're going to be wanting to do, but let's go ahead and kill the last zombie. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the double points that's right there, so we can get started on the next round and earn some more points. And since we're here at the little pit, we're going to throw some grenades in just for good measure. Doesn't really make a big difference, but it's something, you know. Alright, we're going to wait for the zombies to start coming. Then we'll grab this double points. We're going to need points to open a couple doors, so we're going to go ahead and take care of it by getting these points. You're probably thinking, why didn't you grab that nuke right there? The nuke will give us 800 points, but I feel like it's more effective to go ahead and just get headshot kills. 4 zombies will cover that nuke, anything we would have gotten from the nuke, and then there's more zombies to be had as well. You might get overrun here, but that's okay. Just shoot your way out. Pick up the ammo on the way. Okay, there's an accident. That's not good. That means that round is complete, so we're going to have to do the next round as well. All these points are going to be added up. Alright, right here is our reward, the health retriever for feeding all the dogs. We're going to go ahead and open this door for 2,000 points. Open this one so we can power up the machine and do the next challenge to get the plane piece. At this point, you might get overwhelmed by zombies, so don't be afraid to throw the tomahawk. Part of upgrading the tomahawk, which is also important for the high round strategy, is getting kills in the prison. This is really important, so make sure you jot this down mentally. The tomahawk needs kills in the prison first as part of its upgrade. We're going to go ahead and open this. Let's go ahead and kill some zombies real quick. The last piece for the zombie shield can sometimes spawn right in front of me to the right. Basically right here where I'm knifing, the shield piece can sometimes spawn, so be aware of that as you pass down here. Once the round begins to slow down, we're going to go ahead and work our way back up to the top so we can use Afterlife to finish up the next part of our upgrades, which is opening up the stuff needed and powering the switches to pick up another 2 plane pieces. That's the last zombie. Alright. So once you're done with all the zombies here and you feel it's safe, go ahead, leave a zombie, go into the Afterlife mode, and start powering stuff up. I recommend you go this way first. First thing you can do is power on the laundry machine. You're going to need that for the next step here, so just go ahead and do that. If you're interested in using double tap, go ahead and power the double tap machine on. I don't really it that much for this map. It doesn't help you at all, but you can use it if you want. Okay, now we're going to remember these numbers 3, 4, and 9. You got to input all of them in that order right here. Every time you shoot that, you lose a little bit more of your afterlife than you would, so you're going to have to rush really quick back to your body and get yourself up. Now you're on a time limit, so you got to rush down to the bottom of the area and pick up the plane piece. You can see that you can hear the clock ticking if you pay attention, and you'll see the numbers counting down. So go ahead and open this door, and then rush Hurry yourself over so you can get the plane piece. On your way back out, look for zombie shield pieces. The last piece of the zombie shield can sometimes spawn in this corner, right where I just got it, or it can spawn over here, in this corner. If you'll notice, I left these doors closed and went around the other way. That's part of the strategy camping here, is leaving those doors closed. So if you want to use this strategy, you don't want to have those doors open, but you can open them if you want to use a different strategy. Hopefully this all makes sense and isn't too confusing. Let's go ahead and start doing the skulls to get the free Blundergat. We also need to pick up the plane piece from the warden's office, but let's not go over there yet. Let's just go ahead and work on getting the Blundergat. The free Blundergat can be gotten in this map. You can get it two ways actually. The Blundergat is the weapon you're going to need it for the high round strategy. You can either get it from collecting 5 skulls around the map. You can see the first one is going to be right here. If it can actually go through the little bars and Tomahawk can pick it up. You need the Tomahawk to get all the different skulls. There's the first one. Or you can get the box Blundergat as well. So there's 2 ways to get a Blundergat, and it's possible to have them both at the same time. But you only need one, and in the interests of not getting fire sales from the box, you want to go ahead and get the free Blundergat for this setup. The second piece of the Blundergat, skulls, or the second skull I should say, is found on the roof, and right there's another plain piece I just picked up. If you follow exactly where I'm going, you'll be able to get all the pieces, or the skulls for the Blundergat. The next one is going to be found right in this little corner, so go ahead and there's another skull. Alright, but while I'm at it, let's go ahead and talk about fire sales. As you guys probably know, and if you don't, then no problem, you're going to learn this way. When the box moves in certain maps, and Mob of the Dead is one of them, from that point on, fire sale drops will be added to the mix of drops. So, the box will move anytime after 4 hits, so you don't want to hit it more than 4 times per game on these maps if you want to be safe. And there's another skull here, so I'm going to try and get it. I got it. It's on that little lamppost right there. But if you can't get it when you're going down the gondola, the other way is to run over to Jug. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I already got it, so you won't see it being picked up. Charge up your Tomahawk, jump, and throw it at the little lamppost. It might take a bunch of tries, but don't mind it. Alright, since we're down here, let's go ahead and get the plane piece. There you go. And there's another skull down here, so we're going to grab that. It's going to be on this little stand right there. But yeah, let's go back really quick to the topic of fire sales, because I don't really feel that I've said enough about it. Fire sales are the drop that will give you only 10-point cost for the box hits as long as it's active. But like I was saying, you never want to unsolo on this map. The reason why is because there's regular 4 drops that you will always get. Insta-kill, double points, nuke, and max ammo. These are the only drops you want to get. You do not need fire sales, because once you've gotten the Blundergat, you will never need to hit the box again. And in the higher rounds, when you get a fire sale, it's going to reduce your chances of getting insta-kills, which will make the round faster, nukes, which will make the round faster, or ammo for your Blundergat, which you'll need to get you out of corners. So I don't recommend, again, moving the box. Don't even use the box unless you feel like you want to restart a bunch of times. So don't do that. So we just got another piece for the engine right there. Okay, we're going to look for acid gat pieces. Well, for the kit, right here is one place where one can spawn. The part's going to look like this one right here. That's another place where it can spawn, and it can also spawn over here by Speed Cola. Let's go ahead and throw for the final skull. It's up there on that little lamppost. So we're going to buy Speed Cola while we're at it. So we're done here. We got the free Blundergat from collecting the 5 skulls. We got the plane piece. Now we just need a little challenge down here inside of the laundry room. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this zombie with the Tomahawk, and then we're gonna rush over to the room here to do this challenge. You probably didn't hear it, but there was a sound that just played when I killed that zombie with the Tomahawk, and that was an afterlife sound. It's a distinctive little hiss. And when you use the Tomahawk enough in the prison, it'll make that sound, and you'll be done with the first step of the tomahawk upgrade. We're doing this challenge for the laundry machine now. A lot of the time, this challenge that I'm doing right now is the best way to get kills with the tomahawk for this challenge. But you're going to want to upgrade the tomahawk one way or another. So, you must kill the zombies here to get this plain piece. Brutus just happened to spawn. In co-op, he will sometimes spawn here, but in solo he never does. Alright, let's go back really quick because I didn't finish talking about the tomahawk upgrade. For this tomahawk upgrade, like I said, you need to get kills in the prison. A whole bunch of them. Then you'll hear the afterlife sound. That means you're done here. The next step will be on the bridge, and you will need to survive around there with only the tomahawk and not shooting a shot. So that's going to be the next thing we do since we've gotten all the plain pieces. And I see we're missing one piece of the acid gat kit, and since we already looked at two of the other places it could spawn, over by the first cell block near the spawn room, and over by where the key was at, near the cafeteria, this is the last spot, and we just got it. So with that done, we've now done everything we need to do as far as collecting parts and getting stuff to upgrade. So now we're going to go ahead. We're not going to craft the zombie shield. You definitely don't want to do that. Not there. You're going to restart if that happens. We're going to leave one zombie alive. Craft the Blundergat upgrade right here. Make sure you don't go down. You know what? I'm going to just get to it later because the zombie's all over me. We're going to make our way to the roof now. And go ahead and build the plane and get in the plane and go to the bridge. As you can see, we've done everything here in the prison by the end of round 9. So we're going to spend the whole of round 10 on the bridge with just the tomahawk for getting all the kills. And we'll be done with the tomahawk upgrade when the round is complete, and we can come back to the prison to do that. We'll also pack-a-punch our weapons, and we'll never need to go to the bridge again. We're going to need 10,000 points for all this, so we're going to be using the tomahawk, and hopefully Brutus will drop us a drop with double points to get a little bit more points, but either way we'll manage. On the topic of Brutus, whenever you come to the bridge, Brutus will spawn, just one Brutus, the first round you're here, and that Brutus will always give you a drop. It could be a random drop, any drop. Well, any drop that the map has active at the time. No fire sales if you haven't activated them. So, he will also give you quite a bit of points. So killing him is good, but remember just not to shoot your guns. Kill him with a tomahawk. So here he comes. There's the last zombie. And it's an insta-kill drop, so that's pretty much useless. Alright, here comes Brutus. I guess the insta-kill isn't totally useless because it means we can one-shot Brutus with the tomahawk. So we have enough points now. We're going to pack-a-punch one of our guns, and then we'll do the other one after that. It's recommended to spend as little time here throwing the tomahawk as possible. So try and make your throws as often as you can and try to get 6 kills. The tomahawk can kill up to 6 kill up to 6 zombies with each throw. So try and make sure they're all together and throw your tomahawk out. If you come here a little bit later in the game, like another couple rounds later, you may need to charge the tomahawk. Hold it down to charge it up and you'll see like a little shock wave. You can see it on the ground right below me. Charging up will increase its power a little bit, and yeah, it'll make crawlers, so that's why you want to charge it up. With these zombies killed, we should hear the afterlife sound, and there it is. That means we're done here, but we're going to need to go ahead and pack-a-punch our M1927, so we're going to be here just a little bit longer so we can get that done and then move on. We don't need to worry about only using the tomahawk now, since we've already gotten our tomahawk upgrade sound. Brutuses are all over us. You could take advantage of this time to get a little bit more points because each Brutus gives you 1,000 points. Make sure to get your upgraded weapon. There you go. 2,000 points. That'll make sure we have enough to get Electric Cherry. So as soon as we get back to the back to the prison, everything's gonna be chaotic. It's mid-round. Right away, the first thing we're gonna do is get ourselves up. Then we're gonna rush over here and throw our tomahawk into the pit. That means we could go ahead to the next step right away. We're gonna need to survive one round up here and then pick up the tomahawk. So we're gonna stay up here. If we get a nuke, that'll be cool to get through the round quicker, but we're going to basically hold the zombies off for a little bit. We'll do our acid gat upgrade as soon as we have a free moment when we're not getting swarmed. Alright, so there's that round done. Craft the blundergat upgrade. There we go. Upgrade it into the acid gat. Alright, so now we just have one more thing left to do before we are ready to move on with the game. You notice I didn't do the zombie shield yet, and it's because it's not necessary. We could use that later in the game. Having it is never bad, but it's not necessary. Alright, let's go ahead and use the afterlife to go down and pick up the tomahawk again. This version of it will be blue, and to get it, you must throw it into the little pit like I did, and on the next round, once you've completed the round you threw into the pit on, then you can go ahead and pick it up, and it'll be the Hell's Redeemer. You'll notice it throws, and it's blue now. It's a lot stronger. It can one-hit kill at any round. Any round, I mean literally any round. So that's really, really useful. And it can be charged up a little bit more. Charging it doesn't do anything. Just one charge will give it kill power for all rounds. But for some reason you can charge it 3 times now. And yeah, it looks cooler. So let's go ahead and move down to the camping spot. I'll play all the way to round 20 to show you how to camp the spot. And then we'll be done with this video. It's not necessary to pick up the plain fuel cans, though you can if you want, but you should never need to go back to the bridge. Alright, so go ahead. We got claymores. These are for Brutus. We're going to set them down here. Like I said, we left these doors closed, which means there's only going to be 3 spawn points in this area. Basically, you're going to want to camp it out here, mostly using the acid gat. You're going to have the M1927 for insta-kills, and you're going to have the tomahawk to help you force drops and to get kills. Now, I need to mention something about claymores. This is kind of important. Claymores in this map hurt you. Yes, that is correct. They hurt you and they do not give hit markers. So you're getting damaged by claymores and the game won't even tell you that they're hurting you. So you need to be really careful that you didn't get triple slapped or slapped 4 times and go red before running past claymores that are going to go off. You will die. And you will be wondering, what the heck just happened to me? Well, that's what happened to you. I found this out by trial and error, so you want to be really careful about the claymores. But you want to go ahead and stack them anyway, so if Brutus spawns, you can get behind him. At this point, you're going to want to be shooting the Vitriolic Withering, aka the Acid Gat, a whole bunch. Zombies will spawn from 3 places. They're spawning from up here and running all the way across, and they spawn from 2 areas over here. Right there, and they spawn from this window too. So basically those are your 3 spawn points. Knowing all the different spawn points will help you to be able to keep an eye on where the zombies are coming from and make the most of every insta-kill and whenever you get max ammo. Since we're here and we're sitting here and going through the next couple rounds, I'm going to also address the topic of double tap. Now, as most of you guys probably already know, Double Tap in Black Ops 2 is not the same as it was in Black Ops 1. It has been renamed Double Tap 2.0. And so you're probably wondering what's the difference. For insta-kills, we're also going to diverge here. Insta-kills, you're basically wanting to watch the three spawn points. And this is part of why you don't want Double Tap. But yeah, Double Tap here will split your shots into two. So you will not only shoot faster, 20% faster like you would in Black Ops 1, but you will also shoot twice as many bullets. Now, those bullets do not come out of your gun's magazine. That is basically something just done to make the perk better, and your gun's bullets will split into two from the perk, which is basically making them pack-a-punched if you're going to use the bullets for regular firepower. But Double Tap 2 only affects, as far as splitting the double tapped bullets into two, it only affects regular guns. So in case I didn't put this clearly enough, explosive weapons are not improved in their power by double tap. Only regular bullet guns. So of the two weapons we've got, the only one that would really be helped by double tap as far as kill power is this, the Speakeasy. Now, you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't I want double tap then, because it makes my gun stronger and it makes me shoot bullets faster? The answer is probably not. You see, when you shoot bullets faster, yeah, it doesn't take any extra bullets from your magazine to shoot that double power bullet, but you're spitting out bullets, 20% faster. So your clips need to be reloaded 20% more. On insta-kill, you don't want to have to reload any more than you have to, so you can make the most of every second that the insta-kill is active. It'll cut down a lot of your game time. So, in case I haven't made this clear, don't buy double tap unless you really need to. I don't recommend it. You still can, like I said, but I don't recommend it. And here comes Brutus. So give those claymores a lot of room. There we go. Double tap does affect explosive weapons, like the ray gun, by allowing them to shoot a little bit more quickly. You'll notice that a lot in survival maps. Now, the sweeper, which is the upgraded version of the Blundergat, without the acid shot, is considered a regular weapon, so it will get twice the power of its bullets from double tap. And the same goes for the regular Blundergat, but the acid gat, in its upgraded form, the vitriolic withering, which is what we've got now, they do not gain any power from double tap because they're considered explosive weapons. Shooting the burst a little bit faster doesn't do anything for the acid gat, so double tap is useless for it. Totally useless. And like I said, since we don't want to have, to reload our gun more often on insta-kills, we're not going to upgrade our gun with double tap. Anyway, that's the long talk about double tap and the explanation for why you shouldn't need it. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah. Since we finished talking about double tap, I also want to touch on the subject of Deadshot Daiquiri. That's another perk on this map. This map infamously only has 5 perks. And you can see 3 of them on my screen. Electric Cherry, the new perk the map introduced. Juggernog, everybody's favorite. Speed Cola, which is everybody's second favorite. And yeah, Double Tap, which we just discussed. And the last one is Deadshot Daiquiri. I don't really recommend you ever bother with this perk. The reason why is because it doesn't really help you. You're not aiming to get headshots in this map. Your main thing is killing with zombies with the tomahawk. So you don't need headshots at all. Deadshot does have another little advantage, which is that it decreases your hip fire spread with your guns. So if you're just trying to spray like this on insta-kill, yeah, I guess you'll find a little bit of advantage from using Deadshot, a little bit more accuracy, but it's not significant, and I don't really feel like it's worth going up to the infirmary to buy it because the place it's at is inconvenient. So hopefully that makes sense. You can still buy it if you want, and you can buy double tap too. But once again, this is my recommendation that you don't even bother with it because of its location. Let's see, are there any more topics to talk about? When you get to max ammo, if you're down here, I recommend you go ahead and shoot the Vitriolic Withering over and over again to get as much damage in on the zombies before you pick up the ammo drop. For insta-kills, you already saw what to do. Basically just come in and out. If you're over in this little spawn area right here on insta-kills, you'll notice zombies will spawn up by the Uzi and come down the stairs. So that's something to be aware of so you don't get smacked in the back. Let's see if there's anything else. Nukes you can pick up. Basically just a free bunch of kills. And when you start getting to the 30 plus rounds, you will need them. That's something I haven't mentioned yet. This strategy only works for so long camping down here. In co-op you can make it last to about 50 if you have two people, each with a Blundergat, and one of them's over by this window and the other one's in the other area, and you take turns shooting Blundergat shots so you don't run out of ammo. You can make it last a bit longer, but in solo you typically run out of ammo and are forced to leave this area in the mid-30s or late 30s. Maybe if you're lucky, just a little bit after 40. So use your ammo wisely, you know, space out the shots a little bit, throw your tomahawk often to try and get some more kills. And when you get a max ammo, spray and spray and spray. You also want to make sure you give the acid gat a little bit of room to work with so you don't end up hurting yourself too much, because the splash damage will add up, and if you get smacked once or twice by zombies and you've been taking acid gat damage for the past 30 seconds, you might go down, so you need to watch out for that. So make sure you give the acid gat a little bit of room to work with. Can't really think of that much else. I think the strategy is pretty straightforward at this point, and when you finally do run out of ammo, you could probably go ahead and open the door back here, call the gondola, you know, maybe loop around once or twice with the zombies so you don't get trapped, and make your way to the cafeteria to train there. That's a whole nother strategy. I won't be covering that in this video, but if you watch High Round Mob of the Dead gameplay for pretty much anybody, you will see the cafeteria trading strategy with the acid trap. And that's where you'd want to build the zombie shield that we haven't built yet, but we've got the pieces for. Speaking of building things, this is one of the last topics I'm going to talk about in this video. There's 3 workbenches in this map. One of them is down here by the docks near Juggernog. The other one is where you saw me build by Electric Cherry for the acid gat kit. And the last one you saw earlier as well, it's in the cafeteria. My recommendation is that you always build a zombie shield right there at the cafeteria, and that you never build anything down here. The acid gat kit can be built up by Electric Cherry just fine. You'll need to use it once. Alright guys, that's about it. We've made it to round 20. The strategy has been successfully demonstrated. If you got any more questions or comments, make sure to leave them in the video. I hope you enjoyed it, found something useful from it, or gave you some stuff to think about. I wish you all the best with attempting high rounds on Mob of the Dead. And yeah guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you later. Dahniska is out.